Hello, welcome to the Deep Focus Show. I'm Taavi,
I'm Clayton.
and welcome to our review of Hatching, the 2022 Finnish body horror film.
How do you pronounce it in Finnish?
It's called Pahan hautoja.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Taavi here is our resident Finland host.
yeah.
This is the first
Um,
Finnish movie I've seen, but this was something.
um,
There's another one I want to see that's on my radar that I know you've seen. Compartment number 6, right?
yeah. I think you should watch that at some point.
Which do you like better? This or
Good,
Hatching?
good. Oh dear, I think I gave both the same score, so they're like pretty even, although they're very different, obviously. But
Oh wow.
so I don't want to give away my score yet, but I don't even know. Like they're so close to each other, maybe.
Yeah. I guess we can get into it. Taavi, you want to talk a little bit about this movie? We'll reveal our scores at the end, just for suspense, because kind of like that movie was really good at building tension. We're gonna build tension on this show too, and reveal our scores at the end.
Yeah. So yeah, first Finnish film in the channel, and
We definitely want to do more international features.
Yeah,
We'll probably have a
definitely.
series someday.
Yeah, there's been some talk about it, but we will see. So the film is about this girl named Tinja, I would say in Finnish, and she's this young gymnast that it follows her and her family and the weird surroundings behind her, and like it's about this family dynamic and this very mysterious egg that she finds. Yeah, I really like the lead in this film, like the girl Tinja, who's played by Siiri Solalinna, and he does a very great job here. And obviously I have some problems sometimes with the Finnish dialogue. It doesn't feel too natural for me, but this somehow wasn't too bad. I'm sorry, what?
Like it doesn't, like you're just not used to seeing Finnish dialogue in film, or is it? Because you're fluent. You're fluent in Finnish. I'm trying to.
Yeah, there's some like it doesn't somehow feel very natural to me and real. It sometimes feels forced, and I don't know. Like not every film, obviously, but some of the films that if I would put on some Finnish TV channel and there would be some random film playing, most likely I'm just gonna oh dear, a little. But that might be a little bias because I hear the language every day. But yeah. But about the film, there's obviously this egg, this very mysterious, and obviously if it's an egg, there's something inside of that egg, and yeah, there's this random monster at first, at least, and I think it looked pretty cool, and with its like a bony structure and all. And at first, I thought the big eyes on it looked kind of, I don't know, it's fake too harsh, but yeah.
I think I think the monster was played by an actual human, so I think it might be all prosthetics and makeup, which I can kind of see, but I don't know.
Um, I yeah, I don't know. There was something like a puppet being made, I think, like
Oh,
animatronic. But I don't really know too much about the behind the scenes factor of this film. But I think I read somewhere it's like some sort of puppet which being controlled. The horror aspect was we discussed a little bit. It was this was perhaps a slightly more tame horror film. It wasn't like it could have been worse in like in gory aspects, and I was kind of worried because it said like I knew this was some sort of body horror film, but this wasn't too bad. I don't like this is a horror film still, but sometimes I wasn't like it wasn't even the main focus in a way, and I think it's a lot about the family dynamic, and they really have a really odd dynamic there. Like it's very dysfunctional, I would
yeah, about
say.
that. Like, I feel like the marketing of this movie was so well done because obviously, like, it looks horrific. And you, in the back of your mind, you think, okay, this movie's related to body horror. So you're
Yeah.
watching it, and it's so tame at first, but then you start to think maybe it's going to go like the Audition route, which is another movie that's like it's a completely
Mm.
different genre in the first act, but then the last act is extremely horrific, like
Mm.
uneasy, exploitive bullshit. But it doesn't go that route. It's yeah, it's yeah. I agree. It's quite tame.
I kind of wished. I was surprised how quickly we get to see this monster. I was gonna think they're gonna
Yeah,
like it's just first it was a really small egg and like few minutes forward and it's like this huge egg. but and but and obviously the Tinia is becoming like a mother figure to this monster, and obviously there's gonna be some random things happening. I think it was interesting how I think it was pretty well thought the like a duality of the characters, like Tinia and the monster, and how it affects Tinia's life. Sorry, and also there I don't know there seems to be some sort of communication through like some I don't know telepathic. I don't
yeah.
exactly know. Yeah,
There's an element of telepathy.
yeah. And, and like there was like one scene where she decides to fall off the I don't know what's that called like a gymnastic.
Her gym
Mm.
set. Let's just say that. I'll put the image on the screen.
Yeah, and then it also affects the monster when she does damage to her. It also affects the monster, and yeah, it has a pretty surprising ending. Like I kind of knew in some respect I kind of guessed some things that were going on and perhaps a little bit of the ending too, but
Right.
I was pretty satisfied with it. It's like I'm not sure is it the perfect ending, but it was good enough. And um,
So how's
I
this
was not.
movie doing in Finland? It hasn't gotten any
Um,
buzz over there. Like have you heard it from?
I yeah, I think it got some buzz because it premiered at the like Sundance,
It did. Yes. Yeah.
and yeah, I think it did pretty well. Like I I think like not it's. I don't think the film did any profit in a way, but because it has almost 4 million budget. That's surprisingly big for like at least to me it feels for Finnish films. I don't think they usually are that high, except for
Yeah,
some really big. But
the sets are really, really beautiful.
oh yeah, and it was like a really bright and yeah, I think the visual style was consistent all around, and it's not going to be like the best looking film of all time or anything like that, but it was solid still in that aspect. And yeah, the main characters, they all had this sort of types to them, and like the mother, I think the mother was the most demanding of them, and she was kind of evil, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Who's she
yeah,
played
and
by?
Sofia Heikkilä was the actress for
She
the
was really,
mother.
yeah.
Yeah, and Tinia's brother was like this bratty, very unlikable, but perhaps when she's like, I would say, is he like a preteen? Maybe I would say, or maybe a little younger, but just
Yeah. He
I
looked
was
around
quite
like,
annoyed by him.
yeah.
And her dad is like this sort of, I think the dad is pretty caring, but there was something odd about him still, and I think the mother's like a other boyfriend character, like Tero, was I think he was the most coolest and understanding of them all, and I think he was a good side character in the mix.
I don't want to say, like, probably not the father's character in general, but just the way both characters are used in the film. He kind of reminded me of Hereditary in the sense that they're both kind of like pushed to the side, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
It didn't really
Yeah.
matter.
My mind is going now all the places at once, but yeah, I'm gonna let you now talk your thoughts, and we can discuss it a little bit more if we have
Yeah, sure,
later.
sure. So this
Yeah.
movie, I want to say this movie is pretty much about natural habitation, but of various degrees and measures and forms. Performances were all pretty great. I thought the standout here was the mother, especially. She looks so gorgeous. She's so beautiful, but that's only on the exterior. Whenever she starts speaking and like pretty much every action she makes, like you can see her
Yeah.
ugly nature and like yeah, it's like it's like
Mm.
she's really just ugly, and it's her personality, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. And it's
Uh,
like she also has the like a fake personality when she does the videos and all.
oh my god, she's like an influencer character, and
Yeah.
like she has her little tripod and uh
Yeah.
her man. Oh, those scenes were so uncomfortable. Like I think the title of her, what was it, like "Lovely Everyday Life" or something? Um, not sure what the Finnish title
Uh,
is of that.
I
That
don't even
was like
remember. Probably, yeah. Yeah.
um just like
Yeah.
of her little films. I guess she's putting it on some sort of social media platform. You got to wonder
Mm.
how many followers she has though, because I feel like this woman is full of herself. She probably
Yeah.
she probably has a modest size followers like our channel. Um, yeah, this
Mm.
it's such a lush movie. It's so bright, but it has like dark undertones. Like I want to say it's sort of like Promising Young Woman in that regard, but I wouldn't compare it so much to that movie. Just as much as I would compare it to this movie I've seen recently called Swallow. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's another movie kind of like this. It's body horror, um, and they both kind of look at like the upper class lifestyle. Like that movie, it's sort of like about the pish posh, colorful nature of the upper class, but it also has a domestic horror vibe to it. But while that movie was critiquing marriage, this looks like at an entire family, sort of in the vein of Hereditary, like I was saying. I don't want to assume to know much about Finnish class systems, but would you call this sort of an upper class, or I don't know, are these like middle class? I'm not sure.
Like, I would almost think they're upper class. Perhaps more about like some of their behavior is like I think the mother character really like almost feels, and her like clothes even feel very up to date, I would say probably, and I don't know
Yeah,
anything about fashion, so but um but
that chandelier
yeah,
at the beginning was pretty beautiful. The one that was knocked down from the bird. That just yeah, and
yeah,
that's another thing about this film. It's so like there's tons of symbolism and allegories here. It sort of reminded me of the trial, um, because there's a hidden allegory in that film, but that's more there's more exposition in that film at the beginning,
mm,
at least. I want to say, but instead of a story like in that film, it's more of a song, like a lullaby. Um, like the
mm,
ending, it's kind of fucked up. Like midway through the movie, you start to feel a sense of like where it's going, and it's a bit predictable. But there's a certain scene with the bird, which is played by, like you were saying, those animatronics, or I'm not sure what you call them.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, but the daughter sings the bird like a lullaby, like the monster. Um, and then I feel like there's something in that lullaby that probably relates to this whole theme, which is essentially about habitation of not only places, um, but like
mm,
of the mind and the body and also the links we go to protect our image. But I would
yeah.
I would recommend it. What about you? You would you?
Yeah, yeah, I would recommend it. I don't think it's like greatest horror films out there, but it's a solid horror film, I would say. Like
What
I didn't have a like it. I think the duration also was pretty nice, not too long.
I almost wanted it to be longer, but
Yeah, yeah. I think there could have been things that could have been explored more, some relationships and but yeah, yeah, but
especially the Tiro character, Tero.
yeah,
Um,
Tero,
yeah,
yeah,
Tero.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I really liked his character in this. I
I
guess it
wanted,
just felt the most normal in a way.
yeah. What would you give this film?
I would give it a 3.5, so it's a good film. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I was almost going in the 4 direction, but I kind of stopped myself.
same. I would give it a 3.5 too. I feel like it's a little bit derivative of sort of a folklore type horror, and
Mm,
like I was saying, you kind of tell where this movie is going at a certain point.
yeah.
But I will say, the beginning caught me off guard. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. Especially, I like the scenes prior to the egg hatching. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
almost it's more of a drama. It's not hardcore, but I'd recommend
Yeah.
it for any fans
Yeah.
of thrillers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that not sure did I say it already, but like the jump scares were a little too obvious, I would say, in this film.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll have our next episode with Tom. Aiden's not going to be here, and he wasn't here, as you noticed. Yeah. He's currently on break. But we'll be doing Spike Jonze. So thank you guys.
Yes, thank you everyone. Have your comments about hatching. We like to know what you think, and thank you for listening, and bye bye.